everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic Wrestling, back once again to talk about everything that happened at WWE Crown Jewel 2024. Let's go. The opening match of the night is the Bloodline, represented by Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu, against the team of Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso. Jey comes out last, which is quite surprising, but also, I guess, indicative of his popularity at the minute and how his entrance gets the crowd so pumped. Jey wants to start the match as the legal man, so Roman lets him, and Jey immediately gets beaten down by Tama Tonga. Wow, all that hype for nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Jey fights back, of course, and then tags in Jimmy, and the heels quickly fall victim to some old school Usos double team offense. But Solo Sikoa avoids a double super kick and manages to roll to the outside, where the heels all regroup and have a talk as well with Tonga Loa, who is the man not in the match for the heel team. The crowd chant for Roman Reigns, and he wants the tag from Jey Uso, who's become the legal man again. But Jey tags in Jimmy instead, and it's all very tense and awkward. Jimmy's like, "What are you doing, Jey?" But instead of Jimmy just tagging in Roman himself, which would seem the obvious solution, Jimmy tries to fight Jacob Fatu. Bad idea, and Jimmy gets taken care of. The heels all wear Jimmy down some more, but at one point he avoids a charge in the corner and tags in Jey, who manages to run wild for a little bit, but once again Jacob Fatu retakes control, this time with a big pop-up Samoan drop. Jey now plays face in peril for a while, quite a long time, but eventually buys enough space and time to get the big tag to Roman, who squares off with Solo in the middle of the ring, and they have a big strike exchange. Roman wins that and sets up for the Superman punch, but Solo counters into the Samoan drop attempt, but Roman slips out of that and does hit the Superman punch. He wants the spear now, but Solo meets him with a kick to the face instead, and the Samoan spike. 1, 2, 3. Well, the ref doesn't count 3, but it looks like he might have had to delay the count slightly until Jimmy was able to break up the pinfall attempt. I could be maybe being unkind to Jimmy there. It might have just been the camera angle, but I don't know. It felt a bit weird. Things all break down and everyone ends up on the outside of the ring apart from Roman and Solo again. Roman sets up for another spear, but Tama Tonga tries to stop him from the apron, so Roman throws him into the ring right onto the referee, who is down. With no ref, the heels all gang up on Roman, including Tonga Loa, who isn't officially in the match, as I mentioned, but he just gets like one shot in, I suppose. But the point is, the OTC is in trouble, guys. Jacob hits a string of moves on Roman and then gets out of there, leaving Solo to hit the Samoan spike again, and another one, and pin Roman 1, 2, 3 as the referee recovers. Oh my. Not what I expected from the booking here. I get that they want to make it look like a bit of a cheap win for the Bloodline with the referee down for a bit and the illegal man getting involved and all that sort of stuff, but it still felt like quite a dominant win from the Bloodline. Is it just me who thinks that? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's also worth noting that during the pinfall, Roman was having a full-on conversation with Solo as the referee counted 3. I would just love to have known what was said there. The Bloodline beat Roman down some more after the bell, but the other babyfaces save him from being put through the announce table. But then Jey gets isolated in the ring and the heels wrap a chair around his neck. They prepare to Pillmanize him, but here comes Sami Zayn to make the save. But whose side is he on? Sami teases a heel turn, he hugs Solo and the crowd can't believe it, but then he suplexes Solo and takes it to the rest of the Bloodline. Unfortunately for Sami, the numbers game catches up with him, but Roman and the Usos help him clear the ring. It looks like it's going to be a big happy house show babyface finish to the segment, but as the faces surround Solo in the middle of the ring, Roman charges with a spear and Sami charges with a kick at the same time. Solo gets out of the way and Sami ends up clocking Roman in the face. The heels leave laughing as Jey tries to stop Jimmy and Sami from having a big argument in the ring, and eventually Sami leaves on his own and doesn't look pleased. Next up is the 4-way match for the women's tag team titles. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending against Damage Control, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson of the Metaphor, and the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Belair and Io start things off and have a little flippy exchange before Bianca hits her delayed vertical suplex, but Io fights back and wins the second phase of the exchange, but then Chelsea Green blind tags in, only to get blasted with a Shote uppercut from Io. Cargill tags in and throws Chelsea into Lash Legend, who catches her, and then the the two powerhouses square off, but Lash has blind tagged in sneakily beforehand, so Jade can't fight Lash yet and has to go back to her corner. Oh, so frustrating. The Metaphor girls hit a bit of double team offense here and there, and they take control of the match. But then Damage Control get involved and they take control. There's a little bit of a sloppy moment maybe in the corner, but Io powers through and kicks Jakara Jackson's ass. She heads up top and nails a shotgun missile dropkick, but then Piper tags in and takes both of Damage Control down with ease. Bianca comes in with a big blockbuster, but Lash Legend blindsides her with a big boot, only to find herself staring down Jade Cargill again. They have a strike exchange, which Jade wins before Piper takes both of them out with a big crossbody from the top. Chelsea Green tries to pick the scraps, but Jade rolls out of the ring to avoid a pinfall attempt. Chelsea heads up top and thinks about a move to the outside, thinks again and moves down to the bottom rope, then down to the apron, and she just jumps off the apron instead, but her target moves and Piper has to catch her partner, but then both are taken out with a huge insane elbow from the top from Kairi Sane. Io follows up with a moonsault before Jackson launches herself off Legend's shoulders to the outside onto everyone below. This all culminates with Chelsea Green staggering back into the ring and falling victim to Jaded from Jade Cargill, but the pinfall is broken up and the champions don't quite get the job done yet. Damage Control take Bianca out, but the referee refuses to count Io's pinfall. I'm not sure why. I've lost track of who's legal, to be honest with you. Things break down further and everyone starts hitting big double team moves on each other, culminating in Piper and Chelsea hitting a codebreaker senton combo on Jakara Jackson. The heels isolate Jade Cargill and look to finish her off, but she plants Chelsea underneath Piper, who's head up top, and Piper inadvertently crushes her own partner with a Vader bomb without realizing. Niven heads back up top, but Jade grabs her in the electric chair position, and Bianca Belair flies into a Doomsday device, which allows the champions to retain. Our third match of the night is Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. Oh, it's been a chaotic feud, and that continues at the start of this match as Seth comes out first, but rushes back up the ramp to attack Bronson during his entrance. They brawl back down to the ring where Rollins hits a big dive to the outside, but then Reed catches one of Seth's charges around the ring and just slings him into the timekeeper's area. Finally, they get back into the squared circle and the bell rings. Bronson goes for an immediate tsunami and gets it, but instead of going for the pinfall, he heads back up top and goes for a second tsunami, but Seth moves out the way and then hits the stomp, 1-2, but Bronson survives. Seth goes for a pedigree and gets lifted out of it. He sort of turns it into a sunset flip, but Bronson blocks that and sits down hard on his opponent's chest. This is the turning point for a while as Bronson beats Seth down for a bit until Rollins goes for a power slam and then collapses under Bronson's weight and the heel gets a near fall. Seth counters a powerbomb attempt into a DDT, but when they both get back up to their feet, he can't knock the big man down even after several clotheslines. Reed catches Seth up top, but Rollins fights back with a bite to the fingers and a headbutt which knocks Reed down, and Seth nails a frog splash, but I think it only gets like a 1 count. Bronson regains control of the match and lands like a nice spinning sit-out powerbomb for 2, followed by a big Death Valley driver, but again this also gets 2. They head up top again where Bronson hits a huge top rope superplex, but once again it's only a near fall, so Bronson, he gets a bit cheeky now, does Bronson. He talks some trash to Seth, who replies, "You should have finished me when you had the chance." Reed knocks him down and goes up top for another tsunami, but Rollins rolls to the other side of the ring, so Bronson hits a running back senton and heads up in that corner of the ring, but this time Seth rolls to the outside. Bronson grabs the ring steps and looks to crush Seth, but Seth takes out his legs and then stomps a kneeling Reed onto the ring steps, which looks like it may have busted him open hard way. The referee counts, but Bronson makes it back in before the count of 10, only to be hit by another immediate stomp, and then starts to get up again, so Seth heads all the way up top and hits a third stomp from up there, and that finally gets the 3. Seth leaves, but Bronson gets back up in the ring and stares him down, and Seth looks quite shocked at this, but then says things like, you know, try it again, the same thing will happen, I'll beat you again, and, you know, the babyface has won, but the heel still kind of looks strong. Next up is the first of our 2 champion versus champion matches. It's Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax for the Crown Jewel Championship. How lovely. Liv starts off fast but gets dropped with a quick headbutt from Nia. She fights back with a slap to the bigger woman, which angers Nia, who catches Liv by the hair as she tries to run away, and now Jax starts to dominate the match. However, she misses a charge in the corner and Liv starts to fight back, working the leg around the ropes in the corner. Liv gets a near fall off a big DDT, but Nia catches a codebreaker attempt and nails the Samoan drop for a 2 count of her own. Nia misses another corner charge and Liv stomps her on the back, but Nia pops up and impressively catches Liv on her back before heading up top for an avalanche Samoan drop this time, but again Liv kicks out. They fight in the corner again, but Liv comes off better this time with a sunset flip powerbomb. Both women are down, but uh-oh, it's Tiffy time. Stratton runs out and tries to cash in, but Nia stops her. Tiffany promises, oh, I was going to cash in on Liv, I promise. But Nia doesn't seem happy that Stratton is out here either way. Liv takes advantage of this distraction and goes for a suicide dive, but Nia stops her with a big right hand, and Liv rebounds back into the ring, and Nia tells Stratton to get out of here. Back inside the ring, Liv gets the home wrecker out of nowhere, but it only gets 2. Nia is down, and Tiffany thinks about it on the ramp, and then yes, she rushes back to the ring, tries to cash in again, only to be stopped by Raquel Rodriguez, who's here at ringside with Dirty Dom. Boo! They fight over the briefcase and Nia gets involved, leaning out of the ring where Raquel yanks her over the middle rope. Nia rebounds back into the ring and Liv takes advantage, but she only gets 2. Raquel and Liv back Tiffany into a corner on the outside, so Nia takes out all 3 with a big splash against the crowd barricade and throws Liv back inside looking for the Annihilator, but Dominic distracts the ref by sliding the briefcase in, and the ref has to be like, oh, get this briefcase out of here, and while her back is turned, Raquel is able to cheap shot Nia. Liv follows up with Oblivion, 1, 2, 3, and Liv Morgan gets the win. She seems genuinely very emotional as well, which is nice to see, but like, she's a heel and luckily manages to kind of turn it into a mean heel facial expression as she celebrates. Grrr! Triple H gets in the ring and presents Liv with the Crown Jewel Championship. Liv's absolutely buzzing, everyone's buzzing for her, and Cole has to remind us that she's a bad guy on commentary. He's like, oh, I've got a bad taste in my mouth about this, Corey. And it's weird because Triple H looks so proud of her and there's fireworks and the crowd's all like, yay! So, strange vibe, but you know, the match was fun. The next match is supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, but as you can tell from my choice of words there, it doesn't quite pan out that way. Owens is out first in a Cowboy Bob Orton t-shirt, what a cheeky boy, and the crowd are really hot for Randy, singing along to his theme word for word, and is that a little smile from you there, Randy? Almost, but not quite. Orton takes his time and heads up for his pose in the ring, and Owens attacks him from behind with a steel chair. Ooh. Referees run out to stop Kevin, but Orton fights back on the outside and suplexes him onto the announce table. They get back in the ring and Owens lands another chair shot. The referee then takes the chair off him, and Owens drops the ref with a stunner. Ooh. Road agents run out as Orton gets control of the chair and lands a couple of chair shots of his own, and then the brawl spills to the outside where Owens clocks Jamie Noble with a big right hand. Not Jamie Noble, but then Orton suplexes Owens onto the other announce table this time. Back in the ring, Orton goes to use the chair, but Sean Daivari takes it from him, so Orton launches him into the ring post, and the fight continues. Randy hits the draping DDT as the 2 GMs of the main roster, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, arrive to calm things down, but it doesn't work as Randy hits Pearce with the RKO. The brawl spills into the crowd where Owens beats Orton with a road case and lays him on a table. He heads onto the level of the section of the crowd, above, and nails a huge elbow drop to lay both himself and Randy out below through the tables. Ooh, intense stuff there. The penultimate match of the night is for the United States Championship. LA Knight defending in a triple threat against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. The match starts with the 2 challengers exchanging big strikes while Knight happily stands aside and lets them get on with it. He gets involved eventually and takes it to both men with big right hands, looking to ram their heads into each other, but both challengers break free and superkick LA Knight simultaneously, and he spills to the outside. The champ ends up back on top and slingshots one opponent from the apron onto the other in the middle of the ring. He's like Bugs Bunny, he's outwitting them all left, right and center. Andrade lands an inverted Spanish fly on Melo off the ropes, but Knight breaks up the pinfall. Andrade throws Knight to the outside and sets up for a move on Hayes from the top rope in the ring, but it's all a ruse because it looks like he's going to jump back into the ring, but he moonsaults all the way to the outside onto LA Knight instead. Very nice, Andrade, very nice indeed. Melo takes Andrade out with a dive and heads back inside to take it to the champ, but almost falls victim to the BFT. He counters it with a nice handstand and reverses a second attempt by shoving Knight into an elbow from Andrade, who's getting back into the ring. Melo ends up covering both men, but they kick out at 2. Andrade then gets back in control of the match and nails a destroyer on Melo before heading up top and missing a moonsault on Knight, who rolls out the way, but Andrade does kind of like a Kota Ibushi thing, which I think Andrade does also as well, which is like the moonsault onto the feet into a standing moonsault, and he nails it. Well done again, Andrade. Andrade really came to play tonight. He had his working boots on. Melo breaks up the subsequent pinfall attempt and heads up top with Andrade, who reverses into a Spanish fly and makes the cover, but Melo kicks out. Knight comes off the top with a double elbow drop onto both opponents, but again, it's only a double near fall. Both challengers again head up top, and Knight tries to join them with that single bound spring to the top rope that he sometimes doesn't land, and he doesn't land it, but he recovers, to be fair to him, and German suplexes Andrade back down to the canvas below. But then Melo hits nothing but net on the champ, 1-2, and Andrade just breaks it up in time. Oh, fast and furious action, guys. Hayes goes for a facebuster on Andrade, but Knight stops him and hits a really quick BFT, which sends Andrade down as well because he was still tangled up with Melo, and Knight pins Melo 1-2-3 and retains the championship, and I'm out of breath. And finally, the main event for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship, Cody Rhodes taking on Gunther. It's a slow start from both men as the crowd go crazy with Olay chants. Either they really want to see Sami Zayn again, or it's just a party atmosphere. The Cody chants start now, to be fair, as he wins an arm drag exchange with Gunther and works the arm. Gunther gets a headlock takeover and holds it for a while, but Cody manages to backflip out of it and land on his feet, only to be caught in a quick sleeper hold, the first of many sleeper attempts in this match. He quickly gets out of this one though, and we get a big stare down. Now the strikes begin. Cody blocks a chop in the corner and goes for the right hands and the bionic elbow, but Gunther lands a big chop first and sends Cody to the canvas. Cody gets his drop down right hand, but can't take Gunther off his feet with several clotheslines, so he knocks him to the outside instead and hits a disaster kick as Gunther gets back up on the apron. Cody follows up with a dive attempt, but Gunther gets back in and grabs a sleeper. Cody kind of wriggles him off and throws him back outside and goes for another dive, but the Austrian catches him on the outside and drives him spine first into the ring apron. Back in the ring, Cody's back gives out on a body slam attempt and Gunther takes control. Another Cody slam attempt causes him to fall into a near fall for the World Heavyweight Champion, and they clearly did not compare notes with the Rollins-Bronson match from earlier on tonight. Gunther continues to wear Cody down as the crowd amuse themselves with a Mexican wave, but they do get back into it because Cody endures a series of strikes and finally gets that body slam before hoisting Gunther up for a delayed suplex. But when Gunther gets picked back up by Cody, he now hits a snap body slam on Cody and heads up top. Rhodes cuts him off and heads up to hit a big superplex. He also gets a snap power slam like Randy Orton style and hits the bionic elbow this time, followed by the Cody cutter, but all of this only gets 2. Cody takes a leaf out of his brother's book now with a draping kick to the, we'll say, midsection, but then Gunther catches him coming off the ropes into a Boston Crab and then transitions back into that sleeper hold. Cody makes the ropes but takes a German suplex back into a sleeper hold from Gunther, and this one is in tight. Cody fades momentarily but fights back and breaks out of the hold, turning it into a crossroads, but he's too tired to make the cover. Gunther gets back on top of things and hits a massive power bomb, but Cody kicks out and Gunther can't believe it. He seems quite disheartened. He goes back to the chops and chops away at Cody, but Rhodes fires back up and invites more chops before laying in some big right hands of his own. Gunther goes back to the sleeper hold, but Cody counters with a back suplex. He runs into a big clothesline from Gunther, who tries a second clothesline, but gets caught with a crossroads again, 1-2, but Gunther kicks out. The World Heavyweight Champion gets out of one last crossroads attempt and then counters a step-up Cody cutter into a sleeper hold again, falling back onto the canvas with Cody. But Rhodes rolls backwards into a pinning predicament, 1-2-3, and he wins the match. Gunther is furious to lose in such a way, but he does shake Cody's hand before leaving the ring. He still doesn't seem very happy though. Triple H gets in there with some officials and presents Cody with the Crown Jewel belt, and the fireworks go off and yay! And then Liv Morgan gets back in the ring with her Crown Jewel belt. She joins the celebrations and more fireworks, yay! And then finally everyone clears out the ring and Cody and Liv celebrate together to end the show. Watch out now, Brandy Rhodes. Liv's got a track record. But yeah, that is everything that happened at Crown Jewel 2024. It's backwards to what I thought it would be. I thought we'd have the Bloodline main eventing and, you know, the big babyface win for Roman and the lads. They lost in the opener, and then Cody won to send the crowd home happy. So I guess I'm just a silly boy. Did you predict the matches right? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of the show on the whole as well. I've been Jack from Cultaholic. Thank you to Pierce for editing this video as well. And thank you all once again for watching. Thanks again. And I'll see you very soon.